What is up, everybody? My name is Jonathan, and I'm excited to be back with you guys in another video. We'll be discussing Sony's new release of the A7S III. We're also going to be looking at my pre-order of the R5 and the concerns I have with the camera now, and then we're going to be comparing both of these cameras. As many of you know, I have already ordered and probably prematurely ordered the R5. I was very excited to get it here in the next couple days, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen, even though it's 5th on the list. The distributor that I normally buy my gear through actually got shortchanged by Canon and didn't get enough Canons in, and so I'll be waiting probably another week. This is a little plug. I don't get paid for this whatsoever, but I get all my gear from Pixel Connection. They're a lot better than going through B&H and Adorama. You don't have to pay taxes through Pixel Connection, and we all know that through those other companies, you're going to pay out the wazoo in taxes, especially because they're based in New York. And so you could save some money on gear by going to Pixel Connection. As many of you already know, the R5 apparently has a problem with overheating. Now, this is a lot bigger than what I thought it originally was going to be. I thought it was going to be fairly minuscule and not a problem whatsoever, but apparently it's a lot bigger than what we thought. You only get 20 minutes of filming, especially in conditions over 73 degrees or higher, for about 20 minutes. And that's from 60 frames per second up to 120. Now in 8K, you get 19 minutes of filming before it overheats. But what they don't tell you is that as soon as you switch over to that resolution, not when you hit record, but when you switch over to that resolution, that countdown starts immediately. And so it kind of puts you in a rush to film whatever you're going to film. And so that is a fairly major concern right there. But what I'm planning on doing is doing my own review of the camera once I get my hands on it. And if I have to, I will return the thing. I was fairly close today of buying a C200, which was a good price, but I held back. It only had 66 hours on it. I probably should have pulled the trigger, but I'm gonna wait on that to see what the R5 has to offer. So now let's talk about the A7S III. Apparently the S stands for superior, so Sony's showing their superiority over Canon with this camera, because you can shoot 4K in 24 frames per second all the way up to 120 frames per second, and you don't have to worry about overheating. But did I mention you also get 240 frames per second in 1080p, which is an amazing thing to have, because there is no mirrorless camera right now, and a lot of cinema cameras can't shoot 240 in 1080p. So that's a luxury that you get to have without it overheating all the time. And also Sony has a new log on the camera. I believe it's called Cine something log, which is, it helps bring out more natural colors within the picture on the camera when you go back to edit it. And so I heard that it's just more natural skin tones, more natural colors, and a lot of people are happy with it apparently when they've done the reviews. So let's talk about both of these cameras, right? So there's a big difference in both of these. One offers a higher resolution, one offers lower resolutions with more frames per second. The Sony offers, like I said, from 24 frames up to 120, and then 240 in 1080p. And then you have the Canon, which offers 24 frames up to 120, but you also get 8K RAW, which are large files. So that leads me into this point, which is one of my biggest points for me, especially if you're a photographer and you do videography as well. The sensor. There is 12 megapixel sensor in the Sony, and then you have a 30 megapixel sensor within the Canon. That's more appealing to me, the 30 megapixel sensor, because I take photos as well. It brings more detail out of the picture when you take it. A phone has probably around 12 megapixel sensors within it. Now, does that really make a difference in the video? No, the videos are going to be about the same. But when you shoot in 8K, obviously you're going to need a bigger, a larger sensor. So I'm very excited to try out both of these cameras to see if there is a bigger difference. I've seen a lot of reviews online that have been biased, whether it's been like a person that owns a Sony camera, and so obviously they're going to lean or, you know, move towards more of the Sony camera than they are the Canon, or vice versa. But I did see one unbiased video about someone who took both cameras out in the desert heat. It was like 100-degree weather, unrealistic, but for me anyway. Both cameras ran about the same. But in one test, the Sony lasted only 30 minutes and the Canon lasted 39 minutes. But I've seen the other side of that, where people have done tests and the Sony did not overheat at all and the Canon did after 30 minutes. And so there's a lot of comparison already out there, but I think I'm gonna have to do more comparison once I get my hands on both of these cameras. I really can't do it justice right now. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I know I had talked a lot, but I want to leave you guys room to explain your side of things, and so I can hear you out and kind of interact with you guys. It'll be interesting to see, because once I get my hands on the R5, I'll do a short cinematic clip. It'll probably be more than a clip, but it'll be a little bit longer than that. And so you guys can see the 8K resolution, you know, the whole time. Also do testing with the overheating, see how long the camera lasts and whatnot. Something that you guys have already seen all before, but I'm excited to get my hands on it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, that like button, if you want to see more content like this. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.